And then obviously you got the Western Conference matchup. You have the Minnesota Timberwolves hosting the Oklahoma City Thunder. Minnesota struggled. They shot well from the field throughout the majority of that game against the Lakers, but that fourth quarter was abysmal, and they only scored 12 points. On the other hand, obviously Oklahoma City popped off, did what they needed to do. They're the youngest team in the playoffs. So Kyle, give me who you think is going to come out between that 8 and 10 seed matchup.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually going to go with the Thunder. I'm going with these young guns. They really impressed me against the New Orleans Pelicans, going on the road and getting a very close win. It really showed, even though that they're young, they have a lot of poise to work with, or just the poise that they showed was something to behold as far as I saw. I think when it comes to this Timberwolves matchup that they have on Friday night, it's going to be a tough one as far as I see it. I do believe that SGA is going to have a very similar performance like he did against the Pelicans. He's going to have to put up probably somewhere around 30 to 35 points. If Lou Dort just continues what he did in the last game against the Pelicans, I think that could definitely improve Oklahoma City's chances to win this game. I don't think Josh Giddey is going to have the same type of performance that he had against the Pelicans in this Timberwolves game. We'll see whether or not that Rudy Gobert is going to play in this play-in tournament game. I don't know what his status is at this point. It's Thursday, so things could change in the lead up to the Friday night matchup. But I think if Josh Giddey goes out there, puts him around 20, 25 points, I think it will put the Thunder in an advantageous spot. They will need to get a little bit more production from some of their role players. Jalen Williams had a so-so game. Well, they have two Jalen Williams on this roster. They have the same name. It's just spelled differently. But I think if both of these Jalen's can step up and do a little bit better than they did in the Pelicans game, I think it will serve them well. When it comes to the Timberwolves, even though I thought that they had a pretty good game against the Lakers in their first play-in tournament game, they fell apart in the fourth quarter. They technically would have only scored 9 points in that fourth quarter had Anthony Davis not gotten that foul to send Mike Conley to the free throw line at the end of the game. So they're going to have to find a way to improve their fourth quarter efficiency on the offensive side. And we'll see what happens with Rudy Gobert. Obviously, the biggest thing with him is that he got into a scrap with Kyle Anderson a couple of days ago in the last game of the regular season. And we'll see if they'll be able to mend some fences going into this game. They won't have Jaden McDaniels. He's out with a fractured hand. Anthony Edwards is going to have to step up and drop probably 30, 35 points for the Timberwolves to be competitive in this game. This is going to be a very fun game as far as I see it, but I do think the Thunder are going to edge out the Timberwolves on the road, and they will get the A seed in the Western Conference.
I'm in full agreement. I have the Oklahoma City Thunder winning this game as well. However, I am reading a report as of 4 hours ago. Coach Finch said that Gobert has been dealing with back spasms, and his status for Friday's game versus the Thunder is uncertain. Currently, they have him listed as doubtful. Back spasms, Rudy Gobert being a bad teammate. Whatever they want to call it, if Rudy Gobert doesn't play, this game is definitely not going to be close. I don't see Minnesota shooting the way that they did in the first three quarters like they did against the Lakers. I don't think Anthony Edwards is 100%. They're saying that he's been dealing with a shoulder injury, so he may be completely off. And I don't see Mike Conley popping off for 20-plus points again. So I'm definitely going to go and rely on SGA to go out there and do what he needs to do. I also agree with Kyle. I don't necessarily think that Giddey is going to have 30, 10, and 10 or 39 and 10, whatever it is that he had. But he can easily provide you 15, 10, and 10. He can give you 29 and 5. I mean, he is a consistent stat filler. He is somebody that plays, he hustles, he's young, he rebounds, and he defends very well. So again, I definitely see Giddey coming out there and providing a somewhat similar game, but just not as a highly scoring, highly efficient game as he did this previous one. But overall, I got OKC with the upset. I think that they got momentum and showed that they can do this. They can play well. And since they're playing against a team that is missing a few of their key players and obviously dealing with injuries on another player, I think they'll take advantage of the situation, and SGA is going to go for another 30-plus points. But they will be the 8th seed, and they will be facing the number 1 seed in Denver Nuggets to come this weekend.